among slings, they hide well.
I don't have to use that ability right now. That's kind of annoying. Okay. Sorry all to hell. What's the base thing? That was good. That's it. Planes. Nah, that wasn't that tough. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Look at all the money. Anything here? No. Anything here? Nope. Oh, that guy's lashing things. Yeah, he's gonna be sorry.
Meve now reached Willowhain, a settlement she knew well, for it lay near Waldenrad, where in peacetime she would go to escape her queenly duties and enjoy the thrill of a hunt.
Pheasant, grouse, and partridge in abundance. You will see,
said Meve in muted excitement, pivoting in her saddle to face Gascon. Alas, it appeared the war had ravaged even these woods. Where life had stirred and grown tall before, only resinous trunks remained. And the village itself had lost its quaint allure, surrounded now by a double stockade, a golden sun fluttering above it.
Bastards couldn't even let the damn trees be.
Gascon seethed. A dismal scene. Her once cherished wood, and it weighed heavily on the Queen's spirits. Waldenrad had been a place removed, where she could rest and forget the weight of her crown. Reynard's voice roused me from her sad reverie.
A Nilfgaardian garrison holds the village,
he said.
We ought to drive them out. Avoid any surprise later from the rear.
give the order to attack, but none is to play the hero. We shall breach or topple the stockade together. Senseless to perish so close to home.
Reynard nodded. Moments later, the Lyrians rushed forth and attacked.
Boom! Come on. Fought into battle. Yeah, yeah. It's Friday. Shortened battle, eh?
The time has come to purge these
Yes.
devils from our homes!
We're gonna play.
Follow me!
Order!
Should have listened to me old lady.
Cursed traitors.
Ah, of course. He's gonna kill it. You have Scepter of Thor? Cool. Oh yeah, you gotta finish that thing.
Now.
I live to serve you.
They're gonna kill it. I know they're gonna kill it. That's it.
This harvest will be reaping black-clad heads.
Oh, those things too. Trying to set everything on fire. Somehow feel I should have done that beforehand. Oh well.
Wise
We do what
choice.
we can.
Catch!
This one's looking a little bit eerie. Deal 5 to everything is kind of good. I can't take that. So the best one would be this thing. That worm in the eye? Yeah. Here.
Evil ass.
You'll never take me alive!
Yeah, come on, do damage, do the damages. Oh, that's... That's pretty good. We're actually gonna take this guy out.
Sod it. Sod it all.
Hopefully he can't kill it. That'll allow me to draw another card. Okay, I've got a buff as well.
Egloto dum anima est, spes est.
Different cut of lamb. Shank.
My prescription, a bit of bloodletting.
That doesn't do anything.
Looking to dance, mate?
I think that's only so much for my V-Man, right?
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
That's it. That is it.
Is ours! Ours!
When the battle dust had settled, Neve instructed her soldiers to gather Willowhane's inhabitants. Upon spotting their armed liberators, the common folk cowered in terror.
No longer need you fear.
The Queen shouted,
No longer must you worry about homes and loved ones. The war's nearly done.
And then what?
Of a sudden, a villager dropped to his knees and raised his hands to the heavens in supplication.
Tracker! Guide back then!
Neve broke off oddly, baffled by the man's outburst. And then it dawned on her. The Rivians of Willowhane had been driven away. Taking their place, Nilfgaardian settlers brought in to transform the near-subsistence plots of local peasants into great estates producing for the Empire. Reynard managed to grasp the essence of the Nilfgaardian peasants' frantic pleas.
They wish to stay. They've come to love the land. They pledged to renounce their emperor, swear allegiance to you as their rightful ruler.
Neve had stopped listening. She turned to survey the hamlet. The walls of the huts freshly whitewashed, tools neatly arranged, flower beds well tended. A young girl of 6 or 7 summers peered out from her hiding place in a sunflower patch.
Your Majesty,
Asked Reynard, having noted that Meve's mind had wandered.
what are your orders? What shall we do?
You know, screw the new
Tell them.
guys.
Actually, no. I shall tell them myself.
Meve stood on a bench, drew, then brandished her sword, and yelled at the top of her lungs.
Out! Go! Begone! This is our land, our country. Understand?
Without understanding a single word, the settlers easily deciphered the Queen's sentiment. They hastily gathered their chattels and fled. Meve sheathed her sword and resumed the march. And Willowhain, once vibrant, now stood quiet and lifeless, save for the wind howling through it.
Okay, well, tough decision there, but where are we on the map and what didn't I do? I don't know. I went bad. Where is it? Oh, never mind. Those look like the rocks where the treasure should be. No? I could have sworn it should be here. Apparently not.
Meve spied the outline of Malabon Castle on the horizon and turned dour. True, no golden suns waved atop its towers, yet that did not mean those within supported her. Malabon belonged to House Obert, long in conflict with Meve's own, and with Meve herself.
Behind their ramparts. Do you see them, Reynard?
Asked Meve, shaking her head.
Countless ballistae, collecting dust, while war rages all around.
I can't feel my lips, so it feels like I'm not pouring anything into my mouth.
Perhaps the Oberts will lend us aid.
Reynard replied.
True, you've been at odds with them in the past, but perhaps now, faced with a common foe.
A common foe?
Snorted the Queen.
You mean Nilfgaard, to whom they opened their gates? Caldwell, whom they supported?
For they were convinced the Empire would win this war, and resistance pointless. Yet you have shown all the North the Blackclads can be defeated. So perhaps they shall forget old wrongs.
The things I do for the good of my realm.
Meve sighed.
So be it. Reynard, send a runner to the castle. Tell the Oberts their queen seeks a word.
Moments later, the castle's heavy iron gate creaked open. Meve rode into the cobblestone courtyard, where Margravine Greta, head of the house, greeted her. Although, greeted is perhaps not the right word, for Lady Greta granted her only a barely perceptible nod.
What can I help you with, Meve?
The war, my dear. The one being fought outside the walls of your castle.
Greta smiled to herself, then intertwined her brittle, ring-covered fingers.
I'm afraid that's impossible.
It is a vassal's sacred duty to serve her liege, and
my liege is King Willem.
Greta calmly retorted.
Against whom you have raised arms.
Willem is a usurper. He unlawfully stripped me of my crown.
The Council of Peers deprived you of your crown.
Greta said, pursing her eyes into thin slits.
Fearing you would drag this realm into a senseless war. A fear which, it is now abundantly clear, was well-founded.
I have returned home a victor. I defeated the Nilfgaardians in Angren.
Due to a stroke of good luck. You think defeating Caldwell means you can defeat the Emperor as well? Madness, my dear Meave. And my men will not die for madness. Leave my home! Begone from my lands!
Begone! I say begone! We're not gonna attack
I shall
them.
go,
said the Queen.
but I shall return here once I win this war. And I shall reckon then with you and your house.
Meave kicked her spurs and set off at a gallop, sparks flying where horseshoes met cobblestones. For long afterwards, she silently mouthed a litany of curses aimed at the Oberts and their old Margravine.
Quest for death is yours, my queen. We'd rather have an accord with the Blackclads.
Okay, so we didn't kill them. Ah, aha! Golden chest! Oh! Monsters. Hello, monster. Little werewolf. Don't be scared. I only want your fur. Standard battle. Wolves are annoying. Apparently there's a League of the Legends Twitch Rivals thing going on right now. Mahjong. Okay.
As you command.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Seriously.
To the last!
Wow. That is
Catch!
that's something new.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
This looks awkward. What do I steal? Can I actually steal that? Should I steal that?
I'll relieve you of that pouch.
Holy boss. That means I win the first round, and I'll win the match as well. Bring it! That is the most well-drawn hand. Put the ale down.
Sod it all.
Might as well.
Don't like this.
I want to get as many buffs as I can on this thing. Now we start flying.
Thronebreaker.
Would I have gotten to...
You mad? Don't shake that!
Well, that's annoying.
You'll never take me alive!
March on.
Wanna know why I got my star?
Good enough. Oh. Is that it, boy?
Ever have a storm knock out one of your teeth?
Is that it, lad? What the fuck? You piece of shit.
Got a death wish?
I wanted to kill more. Gesundheit. Okay. Still don't know where that thing is. Because if we look here at maps, I have these things. That's a tower, and those are some rocks, and that's like those are the rocks. Those have to be the rocks. Are you stupid, Mead? Hell yeah! Nailed it! Now all we gotta do is go up here. Bash our way inside. Let's finish off that.
Let me tell you of Ravenclough, a quarry Meave passed by. A quarry with a dark history. For years earlier, its wall had collapsed, burying dozens alive. Scholars summoned from Oxenfurt were unanimous in their findings. The rock was fragile, further digging would likely cause slides. Meave had heeded the scholars' advice and closed the quarry by royal decree.
Hear ye, I hereby close this with this royal decree.
Yet now, as she neared it, Meave could hear the even tap of pickaxes. She dispatched scouts to investigate. They returned promptly, their faces sullen, their cloaks blanched with a fine limestone dust.
Quarry's open anew, your grace. Nilfgaardians. They've got folk in the pit working it. Appear to be from the surrounding villages.
Interesting. Their engineers have found a way to render it safe. Secure the walls.
I'd say that's right unlikely, Majesty. Judging by the fresh graves we saw.
The Queen then turned to Reynard, as ever at her side.
Reynard, what do you advise?
As a soldier, my Queen, I'd advise against any kind of assault. The terrain's hard, unsuitable for a fight, and we've little to gain from a victory. As a man, however...
Yes?
To leave our folk in chains, in that death trap. 'Twouldn't be right.
If I were to calculate in heart and mind, keep note of gains and losses...
began Meave.
I'd bend the knee to the Imperials, just as Willem did. But bloody arithmetic won't dictate my course.
Arithmetic.
For I do what's just. I do what's right. Follow me!
Her troops followed without hesitation, swords in hand, their hearts afire.
Let's do this. Shorten battle, eliminate all slave drivers. Hell yeah, let's try that. Special rules, eh? That's good. Okay. Okay.
Those Horsens. Forcing my own subjects to fight us.
There's our... We always gotta try this.
Without hesitation.
Damn it, the white of an eye from half a league away.
Ah, should have listened to the old lady.
Why did you strengthen all that?
Wise choice.
This could hurt.
I'm gonna put the ale down in just a second.
Oh.
Order!
Your Grace, if we begin killing the overseers, the laborers will turn against them.
Oh.
Life is mine now.
Ugh. Ugh. Oof. It really hurts, man.
Watch your heads!
Just a little bit more to go. I don't know what else they have up their sleeves, so
Ah! This one's got spirit!
Cursed traitors.
fire, do your thing. There you go. Okay, very soon I can get one of those things. That's gonna be pretty good.
Catch him! He's worth 20 florins!
They didn't take that thing.
Oh.
We might still take it. Oh yeah, it moves the lowest enemy next to the unit. Okay, so they can't. That's pretty good.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
The overseers are dead, Your Grace.
Oh, they did it. Cool.
The Lyrians
I would've
handily
known that, I would've
dispatched the
killed them
Nilfgaardian
faster.
overseers, more trained in the ways of the whip and the sword. Those who survived now found themselves shackled in the very chains they'd forced the peasants to wear. Peasants. Oh, unfortunate souls. The cruel labor in the quarry had taken its toll. They stood before the queen, shrunken to skin and bone, clothed in tattered rags, their eyes reddened by dust. But in those eyes burned a brilliant fire.
Brilliant. Oh, muzzle. Muzzle, muzzle,
Grace.
muzzle.
Them black-clads treated us like dogs. Stripped
dogs,
us of
they did.
dignity.
So we beg you, give us arms. Let us march neath your banner. 'Tis a chance at revenge we seek, we want.
Reynard leaned towards Meve and spoke in a scarcely audible whisper.
Majesty, they've knout. Not boots, not even foot wraps. To equip the lot, train them, would cost a small fortune.
Tis true. They've knout to their names,
said the Queen.
Have few skills to offer and little strength. But to look in their eyes is to know they'll never flee, never throw down their arms. Such recruits are worth coin in any amount.
Emaciated, downtrodden, the peasants met the Queen's offer with gratitude. They relished the thought of facing their tormentors in a fight.
Hold up. Glory, blah blah blah. Let's see what muzzle actually does. Sees a bronze enemy unit. Cool. How are we doing? Well, that looks good. Can traverse the bridge now. Getting ever so close to the end. Let me go around here. Okay.
Meve's force reached Cabaldon, a small, run-down town.
The Blackclads, they've a strong garrison in place,
proclaimed her scouts upon returning from a foray.
And they stand prepared for a siege. Their stores overflow, and we see ballistas, scorpions.
Oh.
Cabaldon can be taken,
began Reynard hesitantly.
But not without losses. Considerable losses.
A retreat? Is that what you advise?
I fear the soldiers wouldn't take to such a course. They're eager, Your Grace. They've a fire in them. Order a retreat and you could devastate morale.
Our losses may be heavy,
said Meve, drawing her sword.
But I'll make certain the vile invader suffers even more. Order the troops to prepare. We will attack.
Soon after, the Lyrians moved on Cabaldon, war drums rumbling in step to their march.
Can't feel anything.
On the walls, the Nilfgaardians stood poised to defend.
Shortened battle? Interesting. That's a good one. The muzzle could be good.
I won't leave a single city to these invaders, scum! Valyria! For Rivia!
My, now that is some fancy weaponry. We've still got that new war machine smell.
Oh boy.
For the Queen!
It's not that bad.
Should have listened to me, old lady.
Brach! Scheiß! In! Zwei!
Save the Queen!
Oh.
Wise choice.
We must bring down their walls! Crush them!
Okay, that muzzle was good.
Order!
Okay, let's see. What can I do?
You mad? Don't shake that!
Let's see if we can destroy that. Trying to do all I can.
Don't like this.
Oh shit!
Retreat!
Trying to kill the capital. The wall.
Life is mine now.
What you looking at?
Not as perfect as I would like to, but
Of course, as you wish, master.
no, don't kill that.
That bit the white of an eye from half a league away.
Might end up destroying that after all.
My prescription, a bit of blood.
No, come on, man! Seriously. How's that?
A highly curious case.
This could hurt.
We're doing it. Oof. What the? I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
We did it, Your Grace. The city is ours.
The Nilfgaardians had indeed prepared well, with grapples to repel hook ladders from the walls and long spears to rain down upon attackers far below. Niamh managed on the fourth attempt to breach the defenses, but did so scrambling over the corpses of her own men. The Queen was in the field tent when Reynard arrived with surprising news. To be heard over the groans of the wounded, he had to raise his voice.
Your Grace, a delegation of townsfolk. They seek an audience urgently.
Dozens of burghers stood before the tent. Between them and the Queen, a man knelt in shackles. His face was blooded as if he'd endured a vicious beating just moments before.
Who's this?
Our blacksmith, Todor.
Snarled a priestess in a frayed robe.
He betrayed you, Your Grace. Soon after the Nilfgaardians arrived, within hours in truth, he offered his labor and strength. They didn't even need to ask. Forged arms and armor for them, all for imperial gold.
Niamh gripped the beaten man's beard, tugged upwards, and looked him in the eyes.
Did you forge the hooks and the tips for those spears?
I did, Your Grace.
It was fine work.
Growled the Queen.
Damned fine.
Show him mercy, milady!
Cried a withered old man in a flour-spattered apron.
When the black-clad bastards captured my son, they were eager to hang him. Todor spoke for him, saved his life.
He helped me too!
Hollered a woman in the crowd.
I were hungry. He shared what little he had.
The townsfolk began shouting over one another. Some told of the blacksmith's noble deeds. Others labelled him a traitor, deserving of a cruel and violent end. Niamh turned back towards the field hospital, pondering the case, then spotted her soldiers' corpses laid out in rows. Had it not been for Todor, there might not have been so many.
Well, let's have him lashed.
20 soldiers died today, wresting Cavaldon from Nilfgaard's grip.
Said Niamh, her tone cold and unforgiving.
'Twas your iron that felled them. 'Twill be your blood that pays the debt. 5 lashes for each of the fallen.
Todor's torturers were several, as no one man's arm could complete 100 blows. Amazingly, Todor survived the ordeal, but his body had been broken. He'd never put hammer to anvil again, and spent the rest of his days a beggar.
C'est la vie.
He weren't a bad person, milady. He strayed. Freedom will cost us dearly. He weren't a bad...
Shut it. Shut it or I'll give you the same fate. You can beg with him on the streets, you can. Can't you see we're playing a much bigger role here?
Your Majesty, the hut's untouched. Ripe grain in the fields, 'tis hard to believe. I feared we'd have another Edirn here, with the black-clads setting fire to all.
I feared nothing of the sort. Nilfgaard's not stupid. Lands it aims to hold, it doesn't destroy. And Willem did bend the knee to the Emperor.
Where are we? Okay. Still have a lot to do. Oh, you're lashing there. Oh, interesting. He's lashing there. So we pay them a visit. Show them how the lashing should go. Okay, we got some things around here. A lot of things. Okay, cool. Let's begin cleansing this land. Standard battle, eh? Those look pretty tasty. Sure.
New orders? No? Ah.
Should have listened to me, old lady.
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
This should give me a good boost.
Obedience or the lash!
Sod it all.
Curses. Shouldn't have played that. Should have played the cavalry. At least now I know he won't pass.
Must be an important lesson in this. But what?
March on.